Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel, The Glammed Rebel. I hope everyone's having a good day. Please like, comment, and subscribe for daily updates. Hope and Liam rebuild their future together on the bold and the beautiful. No more drama? In the hushed, sun-drenched corners of Los Angeles, where drama is the local currency and secrets are traded like stock, a different kind of story is being written. It's not in the bold, declarative ink of a surprise wedding or a boardroom takeover. Instead, it's being sketched in soft pencil, in the quiet spaces between heartbeats, in the lingering glances over a shared cup of tea. This is the story of Hope, Logan, and Liam Spencer, and it is a masterclass in the slow burn, a narrative so patient, so grounded in the subtle gestures of healing, that it feels less like a plot point and more like the turning of a season. For years, Lope, as the fandom affectionately calls them, has been a synonym for turbulence. Their love story was a ship caught in a perpetual storm of misunderstandings, manipulations, and the gravitational pull of Steffi Forrester. When their marriage finally crumbled under the weight of it all, the silence that followed was heavy and final. They couldn't be in the same room without the air crackling with resentment and hurt. But now, in the aftermath of Liam's life-threatening surgery, something foundational has shifted. The storm has passed, the waters have calmed, and floating on the surface is the wreckage of their past, now looking less like a tragedy and more like the raw materials to build a raft. Hope is engaged to Carter Walton, a man who represents stability on paper. The ring is on her finger, a glittering promise of a future free from the chaos she's always known. And yet, her body, her time, her attention, her very soul, seems to be magnetically oriented toward Liam's recovery couch. She is there not out of obligation, but out of an instinct she can no longer deny. They are talking, really talking. They are laughing, the sound unburdened by the ghosts of yesterday. They are, for the first time in a decade, simply peaceful. This quiet revolution begs the question, is a true, lasting Lope reunion on the horizon? And could it possibly be built on a foundation of peace, not drama? To understand the profound potential of this storyline, we must dissect the delicate ecosystem that makes this slow burn possible. The ghosts who have been exorcised, the new shadows on the wall, and the radical notion that on the bold and the beautiful, healing itself can be the most romantic gesture of all. The anatomy of a quiet revolution. What's really going on here? To appreciate the current dynamic between Hope and Liam is to remember the scorched earth they left behind. Their divorce was not amicable. It was an exhaustion, a final surrender to the idea that they were fundamentally toxic for one another. Liam's waffling and Hope's inability to fully trust him had become a self-fulfilling prophecy. So, when they started spending time together again, the context was everything. This wasn't a nostalgic coffee date. This was life and death. Liam's surgery and his brush with mortality acted as a narrative reset button. It stripped away the petty grievances and the circular arguments, leaving only the bedrock of their connection exposed, a deep, abiding, and complicated history. Hope's role as his caretaker is not just a plot device. It is a pilgrimage back to the core of their bond. She isn't just changing his bandages. She is tending to the wounds they inflicted on each other, one gentle act at a time. Consider the optics. Hope is a newly engaged woman. Conventionally, her world should revolve around Carter. We should be seeing scenes of wedding planning, romantic dinners, and giddy conversations about their future. Instead, the narrative has deliberately starved us of cope content. Carter has become a background character in his own engagement story. The camera, and Hope's heart with it, is elsewhere. It's in Liam's living room, where the light is soft and the conversations are real. She is bringing him soup, fluffing his pillows, and monitoring his health with a devotion that transcends friendship. It's the intimacy of a shared life, reawakening in the quietest of ways. The flirting, as the recap notes, is key. It's not the desperate, high-stakes flirtation of a seduction. It's the easy, familiar banter of two people who know each other's rhythms by heart. It is a shared joke that resonates perfectly, a glance that conveys, I understand precisely what you are thinking, and a smile that evokes a sense of returning home. This isn't about reigniting a flame. It's about discovering the embers never truly went out. They were just buried, waiting for a little oxygen. And for the first time, the air is clear. The two biggest atmospheric disruptors in the Lope orbit are neutralized. Steffi, the eternal third point of their love triangle, is happy, married to Finn, and physically gone for the time being. Her contentedness is a crucial narrative gift, as it absolves a potential Lope reunion of its usual guilt and conflict. There is no woman being wronged, no rivalry being reignited. There is only an open field. Similarly, Thomas, whose obsessive machinations have so often driven a wedge between Hope and Liam, is not around. Without his constant interference, Hope is free to listen to her own heart, unswayed by manipulation or manufactured drama. The silence he leaves is clarifying. This is the perfect storm of tranquility. They have both healed from the trauma of nearly losing Beth, a wound that once defined their dynamic. Now, with a clear sky above them, they're looking at each other not as survivors of a shared trauma, but as two whole people with a chance to choose each other freely. Hope for the future, a promise ring versus a soul's compass. Hope Logan has always been a character defined by her desire for a good, moral, and stable life. Her brand, Hope for the Future, is not just a fashion line, it's a personal manifesto. Her engagement to Carter Walton is the ultimate expression of that manifesto. Carter is a good man. He is kind, respectful, and successful, and he offers her a life blessedly free of the emotional whiplash she endured with Liam. On paper, he is the perfect choice, but love is not lived on paper. The problem for Hope is the chasm between the future she thinks she should want and the future her heart is quietly choosing every day. The engagement ring on her finger feels less like a symbol of love and more like a tether to a life she is performing. Each time she leaves Carter to go check on Liam, she is making a choice. Each moment she lingers at Liam's house, lost in a conversation that feels as natural as breathing, she is casting a vote. Her career is soaring again at Forrester Creations, giving her a sense of purpose and independence. But professional success cannot fill the quiet moments at the end of the day. And in those moments, her thoughts drift not to her fiancé, but to the father of her child, the man who has seen her at her worst and is now, perhaps, getting to see her at her best. Into this internal conflict walks Daphne. The line in the recap, especially not when she catches him in Daphne's trenches, is loaded with dramatic potential. Daphne's trenches suggest something more intimate than a casual drink. It implies a foxhole of shared secrets, of emotional vulnerability, of a connection forged in the dark. We don't know the details of what Carter might be hiding from the night Daphne was at his place, but in a slow burn storyline, the details are secondary to the effect. The mere existence of a Daphne situation serves a crucial narrative purpose. It provides Hope with a moral off-ramp. If Carter has been dishonest, even through omission, it cracks the perfect facade of their relationship. It gives Hope permission to acknowledge the doubts she's already feeling. She would not be a fickle woman breaking a good man's heart. She would be a woman responding to a breach of trust. Carter's potential flirtation with Daphne doesn't have to be a full-blown affair to be the catalyst. It just needs to be the grain of sand in the oyster, the small irritant around which the pearl of truth can form. Her heart isn't with Carter. It never fully was. The tragedy of the Cope engagement may be that it was never about love, but about aspiration. Hope aspired to a peaceful life, and Carter was the handsome, stable embodiment of that peace. But peace cannot be manufactured. It must be felt. And the irony is, the truest peace Hope has felt in months is sitting in a quiet room with the one person who has been the greatest source of her drama. This suggests that peace isn't about the absence of a past, but the reconciliation of it. Liam's second chance, the seduction of a healed man. Liam Spencer's journey has been one of profound recalibration. To think you are going to die is to have your life's priorities thrown into stark, unforgiving relief. The hum of hospital machinery silenced all the noise, indecision, and self-inflicted chaos that have often defined his character. In surviving, he has been given a second chance, not just at living, but at being. The Liam we see now is different. He is not the frantic, spiraling Liam, torn between two women. He is grounded, grateful, and present. He is feeling like his old self again, but perhaps it is a better, more mature version of that self. He is not pursuing hope. He is simply receiving her care with a quiet gratitude that is more potent than any grand, romantic declaration. His recovery is the stage upon which their new dynamic plays out. It forces a physical and emotional proximity. Hope is there to take care of him, and in doing so, they are taking care of them. The power dynamic has shifted. For years, Hope was the one waiting for Liam to choose, to be certain. Now he is the one who is still, and she is the one in motion orbiting him, drawn in by a new gravity. The most attractive quality about this new Liam is his lack of agenda. He isn't trying to win her back from Carter. He isn't manipulating the situation. He is simply healing, and in his healing, he is creating a space of such profound safety and authenticity that Hope cannot help but want to be in it. He is setting up the reunion the fans have been wanting, not through scheming, but through stillness. He asks about her day, he listens to her, and he shares a quiet joke. These are the simple, powerful acts of a man who knows what matters. He is offering her the one thing he never could before, his undivided, peaceful attention. This quiet confidence is incredibly seductive. It allows Hope to see him not as a problem to be solved, but as a partner to be with. The drama that once clung to him has been surgically removed along with whatever ailed him. What's left is the man she fell in love with, stripped of the anxieties and indecisions that tore them apart. He is offering her a future, not by making promises, but by embodying a peaceful present. A future without a triangle, the radical peace of a clean slate. For a soap opera, the most radical move is not to create a new love triangle, but to deliberately dismantle an old one. The current Lope storyline is revolutionary in its refusal to play by the old rules. The absence of Steffi and Thomas is not a temporary plot convenience. It is the entire point. 1. The end of the Steffi-Hope-Liam cycle. For over a decade, the central conflict of the bold and the beautiful has been this triangle. Every reunion between Hope and Liam was fraught with the tension of Liam's connection to Steffi. Every choice he made was shadowed by the choice he wasn't making. Now, with Steffi happily and securely married to Finn, that narrative engine has been turned off. It allows a Lope reunion to be judged on its own merits. It can be a story about Hope and Liam, not a story about Hope versus Steffi. This is liberating for the characters and the audience. It allows for a new kind of depth, one not predicated on rivalry. If Hope and Liam get back together now, it's because they choose each other, not because one of them won. 2. The silence of Thomas. Thomas's role has often been to be the agent of chaos. His obsession with Hope and his manipulations from faking his death to using his own son have constantly tested the Lope bond, often to its breaking point. His absence means that any progress Hope and Liam make is organic. It's real. It's not a reaction to an external threat. This forces Hope to confront her own feelings without a scapegoat or a distraction. She can't run to Liam because Thomas is scaring her. She can only walk toward Liam because her heart is leading her there. It is a choice made in clarity, not in crisis. This drama-free landscape is what makes the slow burn so effective. The tension doesn't come from external conflict, but from internal discovery. The drama is in the quiet moments, the hand that almost touches the sentence left unfinished, the look that lasts a second too long. It's the exquisite, high-wire act of two people falling back in love and trying not to admit it, even to themselves. It's a story about emotional intimacy, which is often more compelling than the loudest, most explosive plot twists. The inevitable collision, how the slow burn catches fire. A slow burn cannot smolder forever. Eventually, there must be a spark, a moment where the unspoken becomes spoken. This story is being meticulously built toward a climax that feels both earned and inevitable. There are two likely paths to that moment. Path A, the implosion of Cope. This is where Daphne comes in. Hope discovers the truth about Carter's night with Daphne. It doesn't have to be a dramatic, table-flipping confrontation. It could be a quiet, heartbreaking realization. She sees a text message. She overhears a conversation, or Carter, in a moment of honesty, confesses. The engagement ends not with a bang, but with a sad, quiet whimper. Hope removes the ring, and in that moment she is free. Free to admit that the engagement was a beautiful idea, but not her beautiful reality. Path B, the Lope confession. This path is more emotionally direct. It could happen on a quiet evening at Liam's. The air is thick with unspoken feelings. Imagine the scene. Hope is about to leave. She's standing by the door, her hand on the knob. "Thank you for everything, Hope," Liam says, his voice soft but clear. I don't know what I would have done without you." "You would have been fine," she says, not quite meeting his eyes. "No, I wouldn't have," he insists, and his certainty makes her look up. Being sick was the easy part. The hard part was thinking about everything I'd lose, thinking I might lose any more time with you and Beth. A tear escapes her eye. "Don't say that, Liam." "It's the truth," he says, taking a careful step closer. "And being here with you, taking care of me, it's felt more like home than anywhere has in a very long time." And there it is, the confession, not an "I love you," but something more powerful, an admission of belonging. In that moment, Hope would have to face the truth. She could no longer hide behind the pretense of caretaking. This is love. It has always been love. Most likely, the story will use a combination of both paths. The doubts raised by Daphne will give Hope the courage to be honest with Carter, and that freedom will allow her to finally be honest with Liam and herself. The end of one relationship will be the quiet, gentle beginning of a new chapter for another. Conclusion: can there truly be no more drama? The question posed in the title, "No More Drama," is, in the world of soap operas, a trick question. Of course, there will be drama, but the promise of this storyline is that the drama will be different. It will be the drama of adults navigating complex emotional terrain with maturity and grace. It will be the drama of rebuilding, of forgiving, and of choosing love not because it's easy, but because it's essential. The future for a reunited Hope and Liam don't have to return to the past. It can be something new, a partnership built on the lessons of their failures, a love fortified by the knowledge that they have survived the worst, both together and apart. Their greatest love story may not be their first, but their second. This slow burn is a testament to the power of patient storytelling. It honors the history of these characters while allowing them to evolve. It trusts the audience to appreciate the nuance of a quiet look over the spectacle of a public fight. It is a mature, emotionally resonant, and deeply romantic story about two people finding their way back to each other, not through a storm, but through the calm that follows. Hope will have to take off Carter's ring. It is an inevitability written in every gentle gesture she has shown Liam. And when she does, it will not be an act of betrayal, but an act of truth. She will be choosing the messy, complicated, but profoundly real love she shares with Liam over the safe, stable, but ultimately hollow promise of a life with Carter. She will be choosing her future by finally making peace with her past. And in that choice, Hope and Liam will have the chance to build their future together, not free from drama, but free from the drama that once broke them. This time, they might just get it right. Feel free to share any video requests in the comments. I'll try to make a video about it. Stay connected with the Glammed Rebel for all the latest updates, spoilers, and deep dive recaps. See you in the next video. Stay safe and healthy. May God keep you safe. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell button for daily updates.